How you doing? Right, bit of number crunching time. Right. There is, at the moment, a good chance of us getting free very soon in the next general election, or 2 or 3. Now, I said about 50 years window space within our time of actually getting to 51% no vote. For us to get to there, for the free world of a natural seasonal working template that I talk about, which is 13 weeks by 4 people in every job role, worth keeping in a non-monetary system, right? Which is step 4 to get to actually getting human resources of all industry, to get to the using this natural seasonal template. To get to there, there's a 5-step plan. So the step 1 is, first of all, don't vote, right? To get to don't vote is beating the first fortification of this world's order of government, which keeps us in this Kali Yuga. Right, to do that, you've got to just do a nice simple thing, the most slacktivist movement in the world, which is not to vote. Right, that's all you've got to do, not vote. Nothing big or grandiose. Like me, I don't do much, I'm just not going to vote. Right, I haven't been voting. Right, I'm part of the 19 million registered non-voter. So that's about 19,302,215 people, to be concise, that didn't vote last general election. Also, you've also got the combination of also the eligible unregistered non-voter in UK, who are with us too, but they ain't actually voting, and so they're not even eligible registered in. There's about 8,199,867 of them. So a combination of us together is about 27,502,082 people. See? Of the 306,310,878 of us all that can vote as adults, right? And the amount of registered voters amongst us is 28,808,796. To get to 51% though, we need to get to 28,718,547 people. So between the registered voter right now, or 28 million, 28,808,796 of them, and us of 27,502,082, there is about a 1.3 difference, 1.3 million difference, or 1,216,565. Enough numbers. All you've got to really think about it is 51% no vote right now, or 56 million people, let's say. You need to get to 28 million people, right? That then was to say that another 1.2 million or 1.3 million would have to stop voting, right? Who are voted as registered voters. This is the thing. And it's waiting on them to happen, because that's how much there is between us. There's not much difference in this really at all in our time. Not much at all. It's a quite difficult thing, because it's waiting on people to wake up to that. But the good news, I think, if 3 million of us joined us, when there's 15 million of us, and it's gone up 3 million people in the last general election to now 19 million from what, just 15 million people, that was always been the unheard third. Now we're up to 19 million of us. To get another million people, just over a million people, 1.2, 1.3 million people, who knows, that could quite happen in this next general election after all this lark with politics at the moment, and enough people like getting turned off voting, you see, and waking up to the fact that whoever you vote for, it don't make no difference. It's a tyrannical system, and it's all just a rigged game of fiat currency control through the deception of democracy, of making it look like it's a normal thing. Like, you know, democracy, like politicians, and really they're just basically yes men, all under script anyway, and they can't do anything they're going to say they're going to do because there's a fiat currency control for each general election 5-year term. You know, regardless of what they say, what the treasury or the real powers of the families be that really are really running things, and all these politicians are really just yes men and under script. You know, so everything they promise is never going to be done because they just want to get your polls in the ballot station to keep the deception alive. Now, I said to defeat them, as I said, you've got to get to 51%. To get to 51%, 51% us, 49% them, we need about 1.2 million people to do this. 1,216,465 to actually get there. You see what I mean? It's coming. You know, you can see it. It's coming. It could be the next. It could be 2029 election. You know, it could be 1330. It could be 2034. Next 2 generations. I don't know. You see, but we're getting close to it. The thing is, you see, what makes all this really shitey is the problem is, you see, of us who are registered non-voters of 19 million, right? There's 8 million of us who are eligible unregistered non-voters, and they're never going to take that into account, I don't think, you see. And so we're then left in a situation of waiting really for what, another 5 million people not to vote who are registered, you see. This is the fucking thing. This is the problem. You see, then that raises base back down to 49 million people because the eligible non-registered non-voter ain't going to be accountable for in their registered legal game of legislation and rule. You see? See what I mean? This is the thing. This is the problem. See, so it needs probably another 5 million registered voters to become, with us, the registered non-voters. See, this is why it might take it longer to that 50 years. See what I mean? Not that I want to be 50 years. See, because the 8 million that are registered, eligible, unregistered non-voter, they're never going to take them into account in their tyranny and corruption, are they? In all honesty, right? See, so it's going to take even longer. Because can you see the problem here? Can you see the problem of the situation? Even though there's a combination of only 1.3 million away, they are going to not take that consideration and say, well, they're not registered, eligible. They're not going to take that into account because they're corrupted. Any old reason to keep the power is what they're going to do, innit? That's what they've always done. Just think what they've done with that Brexit. I never voted in or out into Brexit. I'm not of this world, so I don't get involved. But how many times that? 3 times, you know? What's this like, best out of 1? Oh, best out of 3 now. So do you think they're really going to take the accountability of this eligible and unregistered non-voter of 8 million in their corrupted tyranny? Right? They're not, are they? So it's going to really take to really hit them hard in what they're going to be accounted in how they operate. Is when you hit 51%, that means you're going to probably need about another 5 million people to stop voting for the parties, you know, being Labour, Tory, Liberal and Reform, right? And 5 million of them come away and become part of the 19 million that basically now becomes what, 24 million. See what I mean? This is the problem, you know? So yeah. But to get to where we're going to get to, this is the mental madness we're in our times. You see, it's almost 1.2 million away, combined with all the combination of the registered non-voter and the eligible non-voter. But the problem is, they're not going to take into accountability in their role the eligible unregistered non-voter. See? So it's only going to be playing amongst themselves that are all registered. You see, that's the problem. See, because it's a shame because if this was to be taken into account, the broadcaster would probably be more ballsy and saying a bit more. There's only 1.2 million difference between us right now. Because we're not close to it, they're not on their posting position going to usher this in on their part and say anything. Right? Just to pressurise it, they skirt around everything else but not saying such things like this in a statistical report, to really sort of like grill and drill the politicians, when they're in question, to really fry them up, This is our problem in our times. See, in UK, let alone every other trend of the countries, of 100 countries, like, that don't, are democratic. The last general election just went, the 100 countries from Japan to USA, This is our problem, big time. But we can do it, and we're going to do it. And I will say, over the next 50 years, it will happen. Hopefully, the sooner the better, It'd be amazing if 5 million people join the unheard third of us who are registered to make it 24 million. Because that hits from where it hurts, you see. That makes it 51%, in the registered voters and the non-registered voters. So yeah, think about this. I'll get back to you on this and try and put this a little bit more concisely and clearly. It's just mulling this around in my head. But I said there's a 5-step plan that we need to get to, which is step 1, don't vote. Step 2, become neutral countries. Right? Become non-monetary, clearing all debts, consolidating all housing and all industry into the first estate. Step 4, then, with all that is basically relevant keeping in the week in the chapel of services of all first estate industries, we put this 3913 natural seasonal template, working template, into human resources. Right? 13 weeks by 4 people. See, in every job role. And then step 5, we review the legal system, because now it's non-monetary. What is now legal? See, and that's the 5-step plan. That's all 5 sides of their pyramid system being quelled on all sides, and the 4 sides on the bottom. So yeah, I'll leave it there for now. But think about these things, because this is our predicament in time and circumstance. Have a nice day.